University of Utah's professor of sociology, Nicholas H. Wolfinger, conducted a research that found that the number of sexual partners a woman had before marriage negatively affected their chances of having a successful marriage. In other words, increasing their chances of a divorce. Using data from the National Survey of Family Growth, he found out that women with 10 or more partners were the most likely to divorce. Women with 3 to 9 partners were less likely to divorce than women with 2 partners, and women with 0 to 1 partners were the least likely to divorce. The study involved 2,035 married participants in an online assessment of marriage, and people who waited until marriage rated sexual quality 15% higher than people who had premarital sex. They also rated relationship stability as 22% higher and rated satisfaction with their relationships 20% higher. Normally, this should be obvious, you would think. But I think it's also better to actually have concrete data supporting what basically anyone who uses your brain to think would have already realized it to be so. This is simply because the qualities that make for a successful marriage are the direct opposite that someone who can go on to have multiple sexual partners possesses. Human relationships in general, not even about marriage, friendship, parent-to-child relationship, actually demand a lot of commitment and loyalty. But the frivolous lifestyle that Hollywood and the media so casually celebrate these days is a direct opposite of those values and qualities. And the data also showed a 10-time increase in women who have had more than 10 sexual partners compared to 40-50 years ago. And this again correlates with the increase in the divorce rate compared to 50 years ago. But if you were paying attention earlier, the most interesting part about this research was that women who had 3 to 9 partners before marriage were less likely to divorce than women with 2 partners. So this means that a woman had a harder time keeping her marriage if she struggled between 2 lovers than a woman who had 3 up to 9 past experiences with men. In the professor's own words, it was like, if you're going to be having sexual partners before marriage, it's in your interest to have more than 2 if you want to have a much higher chance of having a successful marriage. And when you think of it, it could make sense, when you have to struggle between 2 people, it's much more of a difficult decision or choice to make, because once you're with A, you easily think about B, or you're with B, you easily think about A. And then that also easily leads to a breakup, hoping to go and reunite yourself with B or A, whoever you are married to. But when it's 3 and more that you have to consider, at that point it's just statistics. It's much more difficult to create strong bonds and connections with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people compared to creating a bond with just 1 or 2 people. So with 2 people you can actually have a bond. But when it gets more, they are just hookups, like we've come to call them. Objects. You meet with them, you have a good time, and you move on. There is no time for anything strong to be created. So therefore we see that the scriptural teaching of abstinence to premarital sex is more of a life success advice than it is even a religious doctrine. Because we all know how far deep the consequences of divorce can actually go. So that is it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What has been your experience in the real world of the people around you in terms of success in marriage and the number of premarital sex partners? Before I go, let me point out that someone may look at the percentages at the beginning, and just think it's only 15% higher sexual quality or just only 22% relationship stability. But when you bring that into the context of understanding how very tiny little things do lead to divorce these days, you understand that a 1% can be the difference between your children having a wonderful memory of growing up in a loving home and having lifetime scars that even transmit down to their own children of growing up in a broken home. So I've put a link to the document down below. You should read it for yourself. That would be great. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us to keep creating content like this. And a big shout out and thank you to our Patreons. Without you, I'm not sure we'll be creating this content. You too can support this channel. The link is down below. If you're new, of course, subscribe, hit that bell. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.